Hello and welcome to the back nine of round one of the 2025 Pro Pink Women's Disc Golf Championship presented by Innova. It's our A-tier one of one for the year. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're your two Augies.
Honk. If that confuses you, it's just because this is kind of a format unlike any other. It's a major for the guys in the USDGC. For us, just a A-tier that feels like a little bit more very prestigious feeling title. We are watching Missy Gannon shred the course. Scoggins, Paige, Iida, Lehtomäki, a little above par, which is pretty typical out here, especially in these windy conditions.
Yeah, they tightened a lot of OB, gave us some new pin positions, even a new tee pad on hole 9 that played really tough. So I think we are going to see this course play more difficult, aside from just the intense wind today.
Hole 10, we used to play this as a par 4, which we have returned to. You can see the OB kind of taller grass on the right hand side. There's also OB sidewalk on the left. If you land anywhere out of bounds, you have to go to a pretty difficult drop zone. It's the old par 3 tee that we've been playing for, I want to say 2 years or perhaps 3 years, which is quite a large carry across out of bounds. I believe after that, wait, is this drop zone at the green now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. You just progressed to the drop zone. Mm-hmm. Are there two drop zones?
There's two drop zones. The first one is our old tee. The second one is about a 60-foot putt.
Yeah. They change this so often that I just got to double check. And looks like we finally got a camera to catch up with Annalie, who is just absolutely shredding. 7 down now through 10.
And this hole was very challenging for conditions. It's also just not my favorite hole. I think the redesign's kind of a weird choice. It played difficult as the par 3. It was already a very long shot. So a little confused on why they felt the need to change this. I'm going to look up how it played last year just because I'm curious.
I like this version, but that right side tree, I swear, is limmier than normal. Also, not a great landing zone for us. Paige finding kind of the exact right spot, but it's a pretty small landing zone to go across. Iida pushing that right side the whole time, fading just in time. That's a fantastic shot.
Okay, so this hole averaging, depending on the wind, anywhere from a half stroke over par all the way to even par. So yeah, just like an interesting one to change when it was already playing fairly difficult.
Oh, Missy hanging that really wide, I believe progresses to that drop zone on the green. This is about as far away as you want to be to attack. If you're any shorter than that, you're thinking layup. Even this feels very risky. I like hanging it out to the right like that. That's super smart. Let the downhill kind of work for you.
Yeah, and every shot on this hole, there's something about the just big expanse of grass in between. It really kind of plays a trick on you. Every shot you feel like I threw that too hard or oh, I threw it too soft. You're just always, as soon as you release the disc on the edge of your seat. Iida doing a great job. Love that straight shot. She even comes into contact with the base.
I love the height she put on it. You don't really see that very often.
Paige.
Ooh, there it is right there. Landing inside the bricks. You never see that. So cool.
Here's Missy from that second drop zone. Right inside circle 2. Drops off behind the basket from here, so it's a scary putt to run. Love the bid from Missy. Really great pace. Here's Owen coming up that hill.
Catching band.
This hole played over a half stroke over par today. There were only 8 birdies out of our field of 55. Oh yeah, you asked me that on the front nine. I never answered.
I was in suspense the whole time, but we're all, I'm sure, going to take a big sigh of relief now that we know.
There is 55. I think that's on the bigger side of fields.
Yeah.
They definitely opened up more qualifiers at smaller events this year, which doesn't help with those of us on tour, but we do get to see some cool new names on the leaderboard.
Yeah, it's an exciting one. I don't know. Allie Smith was telling me her first year, I think she came in 2021, she got a letter in the mail for winning like an amateur event, inviting her to this, and like how exciting that was. So it is like pretty cool to see some people we maybe haven't seen or don't normally see.
Yeah, even though it's an XA tier for the FPO, it still, like we've said a bunch of times, feels very like a very prestigious stage to compete on. All right, hole 11. You've seen it a bunch of times. Look at that wiggly mess on the right side. Once you get out here, though, it does make a little bit more sense. The landing zone is that first zone we just flew over. It is severely tightened compared to years prior. Here's the green that if you're trying to get a birdie, you're throwing your second shot over to. They also very greatly tightened the OB on the left side at the bottom of the hill. I saw the new OB and said, par sounds good to me, and decided not to attack, but we will see some players try to attack for birdie and maybe even try to save bogey from going out of bounds. Look at Hannah Wynn here. Her second shot, she's going for the green.
Yeah, Hannah known to not be scared of wiggles. For real, though, I saw this, and it is the wiggliest fairway I've ever seen.
Yep.
It's pretty wild. Hannah moving to 5 down with that one. What a shot.
And that is just the coolest birdie to get. I think a lot of the field deciding not to attack on this one. Here's Paige just throwing a putter off the tee.
Yeah, I think the main reason Paige landing probably, 50 feet shorter, used to be able to kind of push and land more left of that. And that 30 to 50 feet made the next shot a lot more gettable.
Yeah, and also, even if you got a little bit of a flare skip at the bottom of the hill, the OB was all the way up at the sidewalk. So you would land under the tree and have some obstruction from low-hanging branches, but it was not as risky. Now, you cannot have your disc crashing on a hyzer. You have to make sure you land it softly, like we see Owen do really nicely there. It was, I believe, a straight headwind on this hole.
Missy putting some height under it, but trusting this one, and I think just a bit shorter than you'd like, but safe. I wonder if this stays, if we're going to see more women kind of play this right side, so you're up on the hill like this. It seems like a nicer way to maybe attack, but Iida gonna find the hazard in circle 2.
I do like the play, but with how tight it is on the green, if you air your shot just a little too much and fly this green even at all, even by a foot, you're out of bounds left. And I forgot to mention in the flyover that a lot of this is not out of bounds.
It's almost
typical.
all hazard.
It's
right?
it's all hazard. So you play it where it lies with an added stroke.
Missy gonna find the circle and just barely squeak in bounds. No meter relief from the hazard.
Paige didn't seem to like it out of her hand. And yeah, she's going to come up just a bit short and left.
Owen turning it too much. Gonna find... Oh! She checks up just before the hazard. It's a good break.
That's friendly.
And a nice layup. So easy to let that one get away from you.
Oh, yeah, that's a scary one. Only 4 competitors made it to Circle 1 in regulation. Really cool to see that from Hannah Wynn earlier. Only even 7 out of 55 got to Circle 2 in regulation. So, yeah, we're seeing a lot of people just play for par.
And you wonder, does that include Missy and Iida, who are, or like anyone in the hazard? Does that include the Circle 2s?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't think so, because then it's not for birdie.
Oh, for birdie. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and even with what seems like a ton of competitors maybe playing for par, it's still averaged at almost a full stroke over par, the second most difficult hole of the day.
Missy unable to get the birdie. Paige not able to convert the par with the hazard penalty. In for the bogey.
There were 3 birdies today. We got to watch Hannah Wynn. Missy Vela Diaz also got it from 30 feet, and Iida Nesse made a 25-footer.
And then you can take maybe just like a half breath of relief on your long walk to the next one.
Like, not even, because you're walking uphill the whole way.
Yeah, you're right. It's just you're just panting,
You're just
actually.
out of breath.
What's going on, guys? Hold My Bag just launched the greatest disc golf fantasy game in the universe.
Hold My Bag just dropped the best fantasy disc golf game the planet has ever seen.
I want to tell you guys about the newest disc golf fantasy game on the market.
One of my favorite parts is the Hold My Bag. This is something that we started doing, and it's actually a lot of fun.
Hole 12, a par 5, 901 feet. A longer one, it is gettable, but lots of risk. There's an OB little island in the middle here. There's OB on the left. You're not really thinking about it too much off the tee shot. Generally, you're just trying to bite it off as much as you can. Second shot, you want to get as far as you can, and ideally a little bit left so that you can see the pin, and then go across on your third shot. This is a stroke and distance hole, so if you do not rest safe on your second or whatever shot, any shot, if you don't come to lie safely, you have to just keep throwing or throw from the drop zone, whichever's farther. So you can see big numbers on this one. It's also one, yeah, if you're a little out of position, like if you're a little bit short right, that kind of what Madison was talking about, it's deceptive. You don't really have a lot of reference points to kind of gauge your distance on that final shot across.
This hole's difficult off the tee because the out of bounds area, the little bubble that's on the right side, you can see a rock straight ahead right where those two spotters are. That out of bounds area is right in the FPO landing zone. So you see a ton of players kind of having to hyzer out. Yeah, there's Paige showing us that area. You see so many players having to hyzer out to the left like we saw Missy shot, and it just doesn't put you in a great position to throwing your second shot. You end up having to throw a lot farther than you would like.
Yeah, if you're going to unleash, you do have to just kind of put it high and hyzer way out, and then it takes a lot of distance off.
Today we had a right to left crosswind that you couldn't quite feel from the tee pad as much, but when you got right here from where Owen's throwing, it was just ripping. So you would watch your disc start to hyzer out and then do exactly this, just get a bunch of lifts and carry left.
I think Owen is far enough and left enough to go across if she wants, though, which is well managed from that right side. It's not a spot you probably practice super often.
It's just terrifying because it's not a shot that you want to throw twice.
Mm-hmm. Or more.
Mm-hmm.
Iida putting a lot of air under this one, getting way left. That's going to be good.
Here's Paige from the drop zone. She's going to put it to the left, not try to go for anything crazy. She can still par from here.
That's actually kind of nice. I didn't realize that you go straight from the drop zone off the tee.
It's actually like probably an advantage.
Yeah. Huh.
Whoa.
Never thought about that before. Like you might as well go big almost off the...
Yeah.
Huh. Here's Missy going across and
what an
doing
impressive shot.
Really well.
Wait.
Yeah. Mine is lightly blown. Seems like cheating.
It does. I guess it does take the birdie out of play.
It does. But like, it's kind of cool though, I guess, because yeah, you could go big. Ooh, Owen. Barely squeaks inbound. She's going to be happy with that.
Wow, this hole only averaging 0.15 over par. It looks like a lot of players approaching this one more carefully.
Iida gonna find herself outside the circle for a birdie though.
Dang, 24 players got to circle one in regulation.
It's awesome.
That's awesome. This hole can play so hard, and it was a rough win today.
Paige kind of sailing past. And that's just gonna be a rethrow. Great adjustment. Super punishing, though, with that extra stroke.
Man, the stats on this hole are so surprising to me. This one's usually a gimme for top 5 most difficult holes of the day. Owen showing us the birdie, 1 of 18 today.
Man, that's cool.
That is cool.
18's a lot. Missy, short putt for her birdie. You know she's good for it.
Paige showing us the very common stacking of strokes on hole 12 with that stroke and distance rule. Moving on to hole 13. Another one with 2 pin positions. We're playing the A position today, so that longer one that's more back in the tree line. The B position is new, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Your tee shot, you're just throwing a hyzer off the tee, but we want to make sure to stay out of that woods line on the left because you do need a wide open run up. The second shot is huge. It can be anywhere from 340 feet all the way up to 280, depending on how far you decide to bite off on the tee shot. There wasn't as bad of wind on this hole today, a little bit of a tailwind that you couldn't feel as much until you got down into the fairway. So much out of bounds. It's out of bounds to the right of the sidewalk. It's out of bounds that whole tree area on the right side behind the spotter. It widens out a little bit on the right and then out of bounds all the way on the right side. But it's way encircled too, so you're not quite worried about it on your second shot.
Owen landing in a solid spot. Missy, I think, is even slightly better. That's perfect.
Everyone just breathing a sigh of relief right now to not be throwing in a headwind because that's what we have done on the last one.
Yeah, since 9?
Since the bamboo hole, I think.
Oh, I guess that's true.
It was just so much headwind.
Iida checking up nicely. This is kind of a nice tee shot too. Like generally you're not super worried about this one. Yep. You're like, oh, okay, I can do, yeah, a little just straight shot. That hyzer's great.
Whoa.
Ooh, maybe just a little worried for Paige, but she's going to be in a great spot to attack for birdie now.
The OB line actually on the right side of the sidewalk, which is nice, but Paige biting off a lot.
Yeah, I always forget that on this one. This is like maybe the only hole in existence where that's true.
Yeah. Owen gonna find that left side rough. You see a lot of discs landing over here, especially with the tailwind that was ripping up this tunnel here.
That OB branches away from the path right after that grouping of trees that Missy just passed.
Missy navigating that tailwind, loving the hyzer angle.
Girl.
So good.
So nice to be close on this one, too. This green can leave you with no putt so often.
Yeah, they did cut some trees down, though. I was so surprised when I got here. They cut down, I believe, 3 trees that were right around the bullseye of the basket. So definitely still a tough green, but significantly easier.
Did you know them well? Sounds personal.
I mean...
Your friends?
You know, we had interacted before.
There they are.
There they are.
Rip. Some really nice approach shots here from Feature Card. Owen the only one having to scramble, but she makes pretty quick work of that one.
This one averaging just barely over par, but in the top 5 of the easiest holes of the day. 14 birdies. It's crazy there was more birdies on 12. What the heck?
I don't know. I can birdie 12 easier than I can birdie this one.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
It's just scary, but I can do it. This one, I don't know. Unless you get a little risky off the tee shot, it's a very technical second shot. And then often you're left with like a weird putt. So I don't know. I'm just a psycho. I like 12.
Hole 13, I'm like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Hole 12, I'm like,
Yeah, but like the second shot sets up for your shot shape. You know?
True that.
I'm a hyzer girl.
And our lead card seemed to like hole 13 very well as well. Or, sorry, feature card. Annalie still holding on to that 7 down mark.
Pretty nuts. Hole 14, a nice short par 3 at 261 downhill. The drone is going to take this left gap. You see mostly sidearms through here if you're going to take this one, but a lot of women throwing to the right side of that tree through. It's even a more narrow gap. There's 2 trees, so it's a bit of a tunnel shot, low ceiling as well. But that's the one where you're generally going to throw the backhand. Usually you're trying to throw it just maybe barely short of the path and kind of skip up past it. You want a little bit of ground play. You see anything from, putters, but most likely mid-ranges or fairway drivers. This is probably the most common mistake here, just ending up a little short right. Because if you skip, that OB is just outside the circle behind it? Or is it inside? Inside?
It's right on the edge.
Right on the edge of the circle. Deep and left. That's a nice looking shot from Iida. Needs a little ground play.
So this one was tricky because from where we were teeing off, it felt like a headwind. A tailwind. And so, of course, you're expecting your disc to get a little bit pushed down, but it was more kind of a headwind. Tailwind right to left. So with the hyzer angle, you would expect it to get a lift, but as soon as you came out around this building, it was actually more of a left to right. So your disc would just get pancaked onto the ground. So we'll see some big drops from tee shots. Owen giving it some nice height. It's like she knew that it was going to happen.
The head tail cross backwind.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a great shot.
Glad I communicated that well. It's like we're there, right?
Yeah, it seemed like the wind kind of just did it like a loop-de-loop in the air is what happened. That's what I'm picturing.
Missy with a really nice layup. That layup can go wrong quickly. Iida also probably just laying this one up.
Yeah, you very rarely see runs longer than maybe 40 or 45 feet, and even those are incredibly risky.
She gets the go-ahead?
Yeah.
Oh, she sends it right into the headwind.
Good comebacker. This one's fun. It always has a nice little gallery. Even on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Paige for birdie.
Oh, man. What's that? That's like her third one off the band today.
Yeah, and they're all dead center. They look so good. The pace is perfect.
No birdies on our feature card today. There was 13 on the day today out of 55 competitors. It's about a quarter of the field.
Missy's 4 down, good enough for solo second. Looks like Annalie's 5 down at the moment through 14.
Hole 15, all of a sudden back in the woods at this par 4. It's a triple mando, and I believe it's about 280 off the tee.
Yeah.
Maybe 300. It's far, but it's a sizable mando. It's small enough that you're thinking about it. The drop zone this year is a little bit more difficult than we've seen in years prior. It's more tucked off closer to the mando and forces you to throw more of a hyzer or a forehand roller to get to this green. You cannot see the basket from the drop zone. The basket's well guarded back in a grove of trees. Here's Hannah with a perfectly placed tee shot, able to look right at the basket.
Skips through the dark forest.
She's inside the circle. And she's going to add another birdie to her scorecard. 4 down. Solid through 15.
Very nice playing from Hannah. Yeah, if you could place your disc anywhere, Hannah's about in the perfect spot off the tee.
You see anything from mid-ranges all the way up to distance drivers off this tee, just depending on how aggressive you want to be. If you land a little too far and straight, it can kind of take away the ability to throw a second shot. You see a lot of competitors doing what Missy's doing perfectly here.
Wow.
That's so good.
That is so good. If you land short, that left side, they kind of let grow in on your second shot.
Yep.
By that like emergency call box.
Mm-hmm.
It's, yeah, you
But
kind of,
they-
you want to push a little farther than you used
But
to.
they did cut a little forehand.
Yeah, just like one little window,
Yeah,
like a little
like-
circle. That's a great shot from Iida as well.
This hole playing in the middle of the pack, averaging a quarter stroke over par.
Paige early looking for that to flip up, but she hasn't missed the mandatory yet. That could easily be forehand roller territory though, or just kind of a turning sidearm. Definitely tricky.
Love this play from Own, checking up early, just before that grouping of trees.
Oh, pitch out. It's going to be hard for Paige to get far enough to be able to save par. This would be an incredible save. Good placement. She's going to need a lot of ground play.
And she connects with one of those trees where tee shots land. She's going to have some work left to do, even just for the bogey.
Oh, going sidearm from there.
Yep, she uses that little new gap that they cut out.
All right. Sweet.
Yeah, it's such a funny little gap they added.
Yeah. It's pretty cute.
A nice forehand from Iida up to the green. She looks like she got some power on that. She's going to blast by and looks like a round circle's edge in the woods.
Yeah, it looks obstructed. Paige with a nice fourth shot. Gets all the way up there.
Missy with a little bit of a trickier shot than we had hoped here. A reverse patent pending forehand. Ooh, solid.
Yeah, really clean forehand from Missy. Love that.
Yeah, Iida a little closer than I thought, but she's dealing with those crepe myrtles. And you see this so often. This green can be pretty brutal on the deep side.
On any side.
Yeah, true.
Paige doing a good job minimizing the damage. Missy for another birdie to move to 5 down. Mm-hmm.
No way it was tank top weather at this point.
She's just showing off her guns.
It was chilly, I guess, until the very end of the round.
Own with a nice birdie, finding herself under par.
Missy one of 15 birdies today on hole 15.
Delt's looking good.
Hey guys, I'm excited to give you guys a sneak peek preview into the new signature edition Calvin AVR. I really love this putter because it's stiff plastic and it's got a bead. It just feels comfortable in my hand. It's really cool to get something that I've bagged for so long with my name on it. So if you want a putter that's a little more stable or you have slightly bigger hands and want a slightly deeper putter, this is the putter for you.
Hole 16 is a par 3, 342 feet. You got OB, actually it's hazard, excuse me, on the right and left. We're missing a tree, I believe. From
Are we?
Yeah. There's one on the right. Yeah,
easier.
yeah. So like you can push the right side with backhands way more than you could in the past. It's a much wider option.
Yeah, you used to have to throw a flex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, you can kind of just throw
Heiser flip or straight.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that. You used to see the power sidearm players have a huge advantage on this one because it takes a whole lot of power to go out and around to the left side of that tree and fade in, which feels like the safest shot, but not a lot of ladies in our field have that.
There was a ripping headwind left to right. You can see Missy's disc once she shows the underside just getting carried into that hazard. It can be kind of brutal right there because those big trees really block the basket.
Oop, bye.
Yeah.
See that? There's where the tree was. Oh, is it coming back? Ah, she tried. And we'll have a chance to save par from the hazard there, though. I do think it's good that this one's hazard, not OB.
Agreed.
And this one's always kind of interesting, especially coming down the stretch in the last day, because it could be an easy birdie, but it also could really stack up, and you're really thinking about 17, I think.
Oh, yeah.
At this point.
It's looming.
So you're like, do I attack this one, or do I just kind of play this one a little safer?
Every birdie you get the whole day is just preparing.
Yeah, just a buffer for 17. Loading.
Beautiful hyzer flip from Paige.
Wow, gorgeous shot. She's actually going to be close to where the MPO basket is. That's an amazing shot.
Missy fully obstructed from the basket. She's just got a layup from the hazard area. Iida with a bit of a look.
She'll have a little work left for her bogey.
Oh, and able to save par here. And she's
Very
done
nice.
it. Oh, Paige. Dead center, just a little low this time. So close to stringing together some birdies.
Iida has missed a few, a little bit longer than these today, but she's going through her full routine here.
I love the slow pacing on that. Only 6 birdies on this hole. Wow.
Yeah, it always plays surprisingly kind of tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at 340, even with just the slight downhill, it's not quite enough to make this one easy to reach. And look how guarded this green is.
And a win, our new leader, 5 down.
Well, here it is. Hole 17. It's only 250 feet and it's downhill, but look at these pin placements. We're playing the A today. That's the one all the way in the corner of the pizza slice. There is out of bounds inside the bullseye for the most part on the backside and the short side and the left side. The right side is where you're trying to land your disc. But today we had a ripping headwind, left to right crosswind, even making that kind of safer forehand bailout play feel a little bit risky. You're just throwing and hoping the wind doesn't play around too much. You see so many discs finding those tree branches just off the tee.
Whoa.
Owen really going to try to play safe.
That was a wild shot and camera angle.
I like that play.
Yeah, putting some height under it can be kind of tough with the low branches, but it's usually going to find that safe side. Wow, Paige keeping it low and finding it. That's sweet too. Huh, that's hard to do, to get that much linear power.
It sure is. Here's Missy trying to use the wind.
Good power, maybe. Oh, it's so good.
That's so good.
Wow, feature card.
This one averages the most difficult hole of the day today. So to see right now 3 inbound shots is pretty cool.
Iida putting some turn on it, but it's a nice stable disc. Not able to check up. We'll see her progress to that drop zone.
So new this year is we have to throw this drop zone twice before we can advance to the drop zone on the island. Yeah, and this drop zone shot is not easy.
Particularly, I mean, if you want to just play it super safe, I wouldn't call it easy, but like you probably could. But to save bogey, so risky.
Yep. Iida narrowly misses the hay bales. She is safe outside the circle. This wind got crazy right to left on the green here, so we may not see many players run it. I tried to lay up earlier, and I watched my disc lift up in the air and sail out of bounds on a layup. So really crazy right to left wind here. You can see Paige working that Anheuser angle. Super smart. This one averaging This one averaging 1.1 over par.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why they added that second.
It already played so tough
hard
last year. So yeah, I'm a little confused by the rules changes. But then we see Missy Gannon taking a birdie from circle 1.
Yeah, it used to be, what, a 6 was kind of the worst you were going to take?
Yeah.
Maybe a 7.
Now it's a...
And now it's a 8 or a 9 or a
yeah.
10. Yeah.
There were only 3 birdies on hole 17. Jennifer Smiley and Kona Montgomery parked the hole. Missy Gannon, the only other one.
And Missy taking the lead with that one. Wrapping it up, hole 18, a par 5, 647 feet. A fun one to attack. You got to carry the water, land safe. You see a lot of forehands or kind of safe backhand shots. You're not seeing a ton of distance off the tee shot generally, though we have seen at least one eagle here in the past. Second shot, you want to get up towards that ginkgo tree that we passed, kind of on the right. I believe they tightened the right side OB quite a bit, so less of a safe landing zone than we've seen in the past. There's a mandatory, but you're not really thinking too much about it on the right side. If you're inbounds after your first 2 shots, you're usually attacking for birdie, but it's blind, very fast green water behind it, elevated pin, so reachable, but of course so much danger everywhere you look.
Here's Annalie after getting through 17 nice and clean, trying to wrap up her great round at 4 down. Here's her third shot into that crazy green, and what a perfect little skip shot up to inside the circle.
And that's really the only way to get there, is to get that ground play. She's nervous even for this one. Look at that wind. There we go.
And what a way to finish. 5 down at Winthrop is something to be proud of, even on a calm day. The wind was left to right, crossing, sometimes a little bit of a tailwind, not ideal for this hole. Missy still going to attack.
Yeah, very aggressive play. Super well executed.
Yeah, it's so easy to find the out of bounds on the left side. They did pinch it in over there as well, so you can't filter at all.
Oh, and really low off this tee shot. Never going to cross. That's a re-tee. Surprised not to see her go forehand there.
Is it a re-tee or is there a
classic
drop zone?
Drop zone's
the drop
for the
zone's just
Mando.
for the Mando, yep.
Unless they think it crossed up there, I suppose. Paige with a nice looking backhand. That's kind of the safer backhand play compared to what Missy did, being very aggressive.
After the contested call on the playoff the year with Holland and Kristen, I'm surprised they didn't add a drop zone here.
That's
Very
true.
Surprising.
Yeah, without a spotter right there, it can be hard to tell if anything crossed, and it looks like it is indeed a re-tee. Oh, and sticking with the backhand play, going wide of that bush this time, and that's well done.
Here's kind of a funny second shot, having to go uphill to a blind landing zone. That tree is a good indicator of kind of where you want to land.
Oh, man.
Oof,
So
really,
tight.
Really pushing that right side.
No, I wouldn't even say that. The right side's pushing her. They keep bringing it in.
It's true. The tree used to be like so safe.
So safe. You love being under that tree, even if it smells weird.
It smells really bad. Oh, no.
And that's the worst side to be out of bounds on, because it can be really difficult to get much of a swing, and you're pinched.
Everyone that throws backhand on the second shot blows my mind.
I know.
I think it's crazy.
It's a forehand for sure.
It is. It's like almost like a mandatory forehand. You can see both Iida and Paige going to trickle OB left.
That's actually going to be in the rules next year.
Here's Missy going to show us how it's done.
Working that right side. Oh,
my
nicely.
Gosh.
Whew. And she's going to be in a great position to attack with 2 hyper-aggressive shots.
Yeah, here's Paige really pinched off on the left side.
It's going to be tough for this to get all the way down there for a close look. And
Backboard on the rock.
Paige safe just inside the circle. Scary putt. Owns 5th after that first OB shot. Looks like she's going to minimize this damage really nicely. Iida actually far enough where it's kind of a simple approach. As simple as it gets anyway on the 18th.
With a ripping headwind up the hill. Wow, Missy in putt range.
Crazy. Is this where we first kind of saw Ellie? Didn't she get the eagle?
Yes.
Was that last year? That was kind of like her first big
thing
that everyone was talking about.
Oh man, Paige not even gonna mess with it. Oh. Yeah, that eagle is incredible. Iida for par.
Par with an OB is great. +7 though, doesn't feel awesome out here.
Yeah, there were 10 birdies on this hole today. So yeah, really great recovery from Iida Lehtomäki.
And own after a re-tee, really nice recovery. Big money herself, gonna tap in one more birdie for a 6 down and solo lead after 1 round.
Yeah, Missy is really shredding on the back 9. That's looking at the rest of the field. That is what got everyone today.
Yeah.
As soon as we turned the corner on hole 9 and had to start throwing into a lot of headwinds, it just got wild. We're going to watch Missy, Gannon, Anneli Chugas, Silva Saarinen, and Hannah Wynn tomorrow on our lead card for day 2. And that's going to be a cool card to watch.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten to see Anneli in a while. Hannah Wynn, loves seeing her on a lead card. You guys know Silva very well. And yeah, look how quickly strokes stack up. As soon as you get outside the top 10, it immediately starts getting big quickly. And it was a major theme on the back 9 today to watch players stack strokes. So yeah, that's gonna probably be the major factor, I think, for the rest of the week if we're dealing with this wind. Do you know what are wind doing?
Absolutely not.
I don't know.
I'm a day of girl. Wake up, see what it's doing.
Looks like we're gonna have sunshine in the forecast, a high of 68, northeast winds 10 to 15. So it's gonna be exciting again tomorrow.
We have a front moving in.
So please come hang out with us. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the Two Hot Geeks. Honk.
Sunshine, get up on my body, know it truly, I feel fine. Get to watch your body and I feel that sunshine. Get up on my body, know it